Hey guys, what's up? I am here to give you guys my first recap and first impressions on RWBY Volume 8, Episode 1 or Chapter 1, whichever one that seems fitting for you. Yeah, talk about a way to start the series off and with what the effing blasphemy given to me a life is where it's heading to. You guys might be thinking, man, you seem very anxious right now. What else am I supposed to feel? I mean, after what happened in last volume, guarantee of all life given to me that I'd be watching Volume 7 throughout the dang year while waiting for Volume 8. Dang, man. Now I can understand why it all led up to this in the first place. That aside, yeah, I think I should stop rambling on for about a minute or so and just get this started right away. The episode or chapter opens up with like a ship heading towards the whale Grimm, you know? And we have to it that Cinder and Neapolitan is the one piloting it. Well, Neapolitan is piloting it while Cinder is giving her the directions or navigation to get there. And meets up with Salem. We have to it that Salem makes a speech about Cinder, what she has done, and that she better hope that she didn't return empty-handed. And that she returns with the relic of knowledge, you know? And that, or the lamp, you know, the relic of knowledge. This pleases Salem a bit, while Cinder, on the other hand, gets insulted by Tyrion, who shows up and says it's a necessary sacrifice. We were actually making progress on what to do for our highness, while you are just making atonement for past failures. So pathetic, honestly. And this is really pushing Cinder a lot lately, and she does not seem to like it. But hey, man, it is what it is. Compared to Tyrion, you know, even though he failed to get RWBY and etc. in the first place, I mean, like, we all know for the fact that Cinder messed up big time when at the very back at Haven Academy, where they should have gone after the relic instead of being stupid, you know? Well, now it's Cinder's fault. That aside, Emerald seems to be very happy to see her, while Mercury, it seems like to me he doesn't seem very fond. He doesn't seem very fond, you know, maybe because of what's up or what he thinks of Cinder. And, of course, we see Hazel and everyone else. And, of course, Cinder does say that she will go after the one who has the Winter Maiden's powers. But Salem warned Cinder to, like, stick in your place. You will do only what I tell you what to do, okay? Everything is going according to plan. And you will stay in line. Not the same you pulled in Haven Academy. You got it? Salem warned Cinder about that. And Cinder says, I understand. Without you, I am nothing. And therefore, Salem dismisses them as things are going all according to plan, you know? We have too that Oscar is like, is stuck in the slums where the Faunus is at. And the Faunus offers Oscar some soup, which he drinks. And then he gets picked up by RWBY and her friend, you know? And this is where all hell breaks loose right now. Because with everything that's happening, things are not looking so great. Mantle's in very dead slumber, and everyone doesn't have any heat, and it's already cold, you know? It must be the peak of winter right now. Without any heat, they're all doomed to freeze to death, for all I understand. Let's all not forget that. And, of course, Joanna, one of the happy huntresses, you know, ends up having to, like, talk to them, saying that we gotta move right away and figure out how to do something, you know? Although, like, some Yang and the others seem a little, like, hesitant to do so, Joanna says, either you help out or you're freaking baggage, okay? Do something for once. And then she just leaves to go into action while May's giving her some orders. And this is where things are starting to look pretty bad. Some of them, half of the team, known as RWBY and the others, wants to evacuate Mantle. While the other half, that's RWBY and the others, wants to activate the communications tower and let them all know. Yang doesn't feel like this should go out, you know, because like things were not going so well. But RWBY says we got no other option right now, you know. Once Salem is done here, she's about to move on to the rest of Remnant, and all hell or chaos will be in destruction ray. We got to warn everybody throughout the entire world of Remnant. Only will they get prepared will they have a better chance against Salem's forces, which I cannot deny. Although the other half says we gotta focus on saving Mantle and the other people and get them to that crater that Joanna mentioned, you know? At the same time, though, it seemed like to me they were arguing amongst themselves and dividing each other, and Oscar tried to tell him, you gotta calm down. We have to stay united. Salem only got this far because she divided us in the first place, you know? And I can understand that. I mean, you know, the saying goes by, united we stand, divided we fall. That's the freaking nasty, sad, realistic quote that's always been in there, you know, all the time. But that aside, we have to it that Penny, you know, she volunteers to take the relic and give it to Salem, and maybe she could call off the attack. But but Oscar and the others, Ruby and Yang, and you know everyone else says, we are not agreeing to that. Even if she does agree, it's highly unlikely it's not going to do any good, which is obviously from the get-go. And then we get to know in order to activate the Atlas Communications Tower, they have to go through a certain terminal and get a green light to do so. And of course, that there's 2 terminals that Pietro, Penny's father, says like that there's 2 terminals. There's one at the base of the city, you know, etc. and so forth. And at the same time, though, Yang and the others decide to split for now to do what needs to be done, you know? Yang, Ren, Jean, and Oscar decide to team up to go get some supplies or to like help out with Mantle, while like Ruby, Blake, Weiss, Penny, and Nora decides to team up to go activate the Atlas Communications Tower, you know? And of course, we have to it that like that our old lady, man, I'm so sorry. Oh man, I'm so bad at this. Maria, you know, the former silver-eyed woman, you know, the Grim Reaper whatsoever. She says she can help out, but not too much. I don't know how I'm going to get you to the base of the city. And then Weiss has an idea, which I think she may have some connections to. And we have to it that they get a phone call from Ironwood, and Penny decides to pick up. And then, like, Ironwood's like, hey, Penny, where are you? We need you. Tell me where you are. I can pick you up, and then we can make things, like, go the way it should be. However, Ruby decides to take over the call and tells Ironwood, she's not going anywhere until you change your mind about Mantle. There's still a chance, but Ironwood gets really upset at Ruby and says, do you have any idea what's going on? Mantle is doomed. Salem is at the doorstep, and she's about to freaking go all out against us right now. If she succeeds and destroys the defenses, everything will be on your hands and your head. You got it? Everything. And, you know, Ironwood, we go to a scene switch with, like, the Ace Ops, you know, Meryl, and then Vine, Elwood, and then, you know, pretty much the Ace Ops team. They end up seeing their former leader dead on the table, and they seem to be very upset about it. Of course, one of them shows it, and we have to that Ironwood, of course, his arm, his left organic arm, you know, is metal. Pretty much, he's turning more machine than human, which is pretty nasty and obvious from a reference as people were giving research on that he's turning more of a machine or metal man than human. He's losing his humanity as time continues on. As for Crow and Robin, they're of course like in jail, obviously from the get-go, and Winter, she is pretty much like tending to her wounds, and she does have some handicap assistant on her since she gotten injured, and of course she doesn't seem like she's at full strength right now because of the injuries she suffered from Cinder herself, you know. That aside, Ironwood thanks Winter for like being there at his side because he doesn't know what he would do without her, you know. And Winter asks Ironwood, what will you do now? And we have to it that he hears Camilla and Sleet having to try to talk to Ironwood about what the situation's going on, you know. And Ironwood responds to Winter like, I would do what's necessary to defend this kingdom no matter what it takes. And we have to it that Sleet of the councilman of Atlas says, what the hell's wrong with you? Are you out of your blasted mind? And then Ironwood ends up shooting him and therefore falls dead. I'm like, okay, there's no going back on this. I don't mean to be a total jerk about this, but Ironwood, I understand why he went there. A lot of people, I have my fair share of arguments of why he went down this route. But like I said, ever since like reading certain comments and like watching Volume 7 throughout the year while waiting up for Volume 8 to appear, you know, honestly, it's both sides' fault in the first place, or partly RWBY's team's fault because of what she did. You know, she pretty much said she only did what she believed was best, and guess what? You took advantage of his resources, you end up playing along, you didn't bother telling him everything, and then you lied to him, etc. And then all this, like, went downhill, etc. You know, like I said, I can understand why Ironwood went that route, but yeah. And we have too that Salem looks at the Relic of Knowledge and says, you know, I have some questions for you. And she ends up having to, like, bring it to a certain Grimm and says, but I need you to get the one who could tell me. And she tells the Grimm to, like, bring him to me, you know? And then we get to see Volume 8's opening play, and I would like to give a certain analysis of what happened, or what's going on, but all I could tell you is that I'm going to stay quiet for now. You're going to have to wait till you watch maybe the opening yourself for next week. I'm pretty sure it's going to be for free for next week, that's for sure. But that aside, yeah, you guys going to have to wait until, like, next week, because I don't feel like giving out this analysis of the opening, because I think it'll just give away too much, and I'm just going to say right now, it already did give away too much, so that much I can say. So, overall, without a lot of detail and not too much confusion, Salem arrives at the doorstep. She gets the Relic of Knowledge and tells Cinder to stay in her place and that things are going smoothly as she wants it to. As for RWBY and the others, they picked up Oscar, and then, you know, they decide to stay united but yet divided on what they want to do, you know. Yang, Ren, Jean, Oscar decides to go to the pharmacy to the keys that's given by Pietro, Penny's father, to, like, go get something and do what they can for Mantle, you know. As for RWBY, Weiss, Blake, Nora, and Penny, they decide to go to the terminal to activate Atlas Communications Tower and warn everybody, you know, or use it to help and warn everybody, etc. While Ironwood is steadfast of losing his humanity, you know, he kills Councilman Sleet to make sure no one goes against his orders, even if he has to use fear. And Salem gets a Grimm to go find the man who could activate the Relic of Knowledge for her, you know, and so forth. Yeah, with what's going on right now, it's looking very bad right now. I mean, Salem and Ironwood are against RWBY's team right now and the others, and yeah, right now, staying divided and Ironwood not cooperating, and he's steadfast to want to get Atlas out of there and leaving Mantle to die whatsoever and its innocent lives. Yeah. This is a very nasty theme, you know. Staying divided, we fall. Staying united, we stand. But after, like I said, watching Volume 7 throughout the year, again and again and again and again and again, I can understand why Ironwood turned to what he is to this day. Anybody should understand. If not, yeah. I mean, I'm trying not to blame it all on Team RWBY, you know. I mean, they're just a lot of... They may be Huntsman licensed right now, but heck, they're still kids to the end and just did something that had to go into... That everything had to went to hell. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I don't mean to blame all on Team RWBY, but yeah. I mean... It is what it is. I mean, like, Ironwood entrusted them with everything he's got, his resources, his knowledge, and his plans, and they end up having him over. But I can understand why, you know. Everybody has the differences in how things should be done, and that's the sad part. So, yeah. Like I said, this is really going bad for everybody else, so I don't know how it's going to go out for everyone, but one thing was sure, it's just very bad. Sorry for being pathetic for saying same words, but yeah. So until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alphazzetto. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!